Welcome back to my channel where we talk about blogging, business, and legal tips. My name is Amira. I'm the business lawyer, blogger, and coach behind asoftguru.com, where I help you make money online and legally protect your business. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 legal policies you must have on your website and why they're so important to have and how they legally protect you and your business. I'm also going to be showing you how to get done with all 3 website legal policies in the next 15 minutes without having to spend thousands of dollars hiring a lawyer, saving you so much time and money. We're also going to be talking about some legal mistakes I see entrepreneurs making, and I will also share 2 bonus legal tips with you to help you and your business become compliant. So before I get into the 3 legal policies that you should have on your website, no matter what kind of business you have, go ahead and click the link in the description of this video to sign up for my free legal guide that I put together to help you avoid the common legal mistakes I see entrepreneurs making all the time. So the first website policy or legal page that you should have on your website is what's called a privacy policy. A privacy policy is a legal document that informs the people who visit your website that what information you're collecting from them and how you're going to use that information. So for example, let's say I visit your website and I sign up for your freebie. I have now just given you personal information in the form of my name and my email address. So by just giving you that information, I have the legal right to know what are you going to do with that data? Like, what are you going to do with that information? And similarly, let's say tomorrow I purchase one of your products, right? So now I've given you a little bit more personal information. I've given you my name, my email address, maybe my physical address, my credit card information, and so forth. So that's why it's legally required to inform the people who visit your website or the people that purchase from you that what is your policy, how you maintain data. Not only that, there are privacy laws that you must comply with, such as one of the toughest laws out there called GDPR. I'm sure you must have heard about it. It's General Data Protection Regulation. It is the law outside of the European Union, but it applies to you whether you live in the EU or whether you're outside of the EU. And there's serious penalties for non-compliance. We're talking up to $20 million or 4% of your revenue from prior year. So that's why it's so important to make sure that if you have a privacy policy, that it outlines your GDPR compliance and that you're also following GDPR compliance with other aspects of your business as well. Now, as if complying with the GDPR wasn't enough, you also have to worry about ensuring your compliance with the California privacy law known as the CCPA or California Consumer Privacy Act. Under this law, anyone that visits your website from California is entitled to certain legal rights, and you as the business owner have to make sure that your privacy policy clearly outlines those rights and ensures compliance. So not only you have to worry about making sure that your privacy policy is GDPR compliant, but you also have to include additional legal provisions in your privacy policy to ensure and demonstrate your compliance with the California law. And just like the GDPR, there are serious fines and penalties for non-compliance with the CCPA, and Attorney General of California has brought different kinds of legal action. You were talking fines anywhere from $2,500 to $7,500 and more for non-compliance with this particular law. Now, just to show you how these privacy violations and lawsuits are enforced, I want to talk about the Federal Trade Commission. You may have heard about them already. Federal Trade Commission is the agency that protects consumers' privacy. And if you visit their website, you will see tons of companies that have gotten in legal trouble for not following the privacy laws and not having a proper privacy policy on their website. So we're talking small companies to big companies like Zoom, Facebook. I know Google is on there too. And there's so many cases out there where companies have gotten in trouble. So that's why it's super important to make sure that you're following the privacy laws and to make sure that you have a proper, well-written privacy policy that actually protects you. Not only that, I also want to show you a helpful blog post on this subject that I have on my website that you're more than welcome to check out, and I'll post the link in the description of the video. In this blog post, I talk about these website policies and pages in a lot more detail because there's so many different laws to worry about, like the children's privacy law, another California law. So you can read this blog post if you would like to learn more, and I will link it in the description of the video. So before we get to the next website policy, I have a quick question for you. Do you have a proper privacy policy on your website that's both GDPR and CCPA compliant, meaning one that's professionally written or reviewed by a lawyer? Let me know in the comments below. Now, after the website privacy policy, the next website policy or legal page that you need on your website is what's called a disclaimer. Think of a disclaimer like just the way it sounds, disclaim. So the purpose is to disclaim legal liability. In other words, limit your legal liability for the content that you publish and put out there. Because think about it, you're putting so much information out there. You don't want someone to take that information as advice and come after you for legal damages, because let's be real, it's so easy to get sued these days. And let me give you another example, which I will start with my legal disclaimer. The information shared in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not constitute legal advice. Now, by giving a simple disclaimer like that is not enough. A lot of times people think that they can just give a bare bones disclaimer like that and that will protect you. No, you need to be a little bit more elaborate. You also need to make sure that the disclaimer page on your website limits your legal liability. It has all that legal jargon in there. You also want to make sure that if you're sharing affiliate links with your audience, that you also have what's called an affiliate disclaimer. So for any of these third-party links that you're putting on your website, you don't want someone to hold you liable for those if there's ever a negative consequence that they suffered because of you sharing that information. So that's why you need to put people on notice by those affiliate disclaimers. And not only that, under the Federal Trade Commission rules, you also have to make sure that if you're sharing affiliate links, that you have to give appropriate affiliate disclosures. And that all of that information is nicely put together in your disclaimer page on your website. If you're liking this video and if it has helped you in any way, then please hit that like button and subscribe so that we can reach more people together. And I want to be able to help as many people as I can to become legally compliant. Okay, so the last website policy that you need is what's called terms and conditions. Think of them as your website rules, what you allow and what you don't allow on your website. A lot of people overlook the website terms and conditions, or they forget about them because they think that if they're not selling anything, then they don't need terms and conditions. But that's not true, because terms and conditions are super important for so many different reasons. For example, protecting your intellectual property. You want to make sure that the content that you're putting out there is protected, that people don't steal, and you need to outline all of that clearly in your terms and conditions. And also, let's say you want to grant some legal rights. If I want to allow you to use my legal store images, for example, as part of your affiliate promotions, then I can clearly outline all of that as part of my terms and conditions to give you the legal right to use my photos. So that's why it's important to have proper terms and conditions that outline your intellectual property rules. And then not only that, but they also help let the reader or your customer know how and where the legal disputes will be resolved. So if you ever run into a legal issue, you want to be able to clearly let people know that where the legal issue will be resolved. Is it going to be resolved through arbitration, mediation, or are we going to go straight to court? These are all important legal considerations, and you should be thinking about these things and making sure that your terms and conditions are protecting you in that aspect. And then if you do sell any products or you offer any kind of freebies, you want to make sure that you have your terms and conditions which outlines how people can download the freebie, how they can use it. Once again, you want to prevent copyright infringement by putting all of those provisions in your intellectual property rules. And then if there's a paid product that they bought from you, you also want to be able to outline your refund policy, your exchange policy, because you'll be surprised that how many times people have gotten in legal trouble by not having a refund policy, and they've had to refund thousands of dollars to the customer because they didn't have a policy that the customer reviewed or accepted before purchasing. So with terms and conditions, if you are selling something, what you want to do is that you want to have an option for your customer to click to accept your terms and conditions electronically, before the transaction happens, before they make that purchase from you. This way they're bound by your terms and conditions and you've gotten their electronic consent. If you made it this far, congrats. But now you may be wondering, how do I get done with these website legal policies quickly? So I have great news for you. You don't have to spend any time or money to hire an expensive lawyer. I have made the process super easy and quick for you and affordable. So what I've done is I put together legal template bundles that you can instantly download to start protecting your business in the next 15 minutes without having to hire a lawyer. So no more worrying about getting sued, no more worrying about having not the right legal policies or pages on your site. And now you can finally focus on what matters most, growing your business. I will put a link to this page in the description of the video so you can check them out. And if you watch the first video, it will walk you through what's in the bundles in a lot more detail. And then when you click here, you will see that these are legal templates that work for any kind of online business owner. So whether you're a blogger, coach, marketer, consultant, and they work globally. So they've worked for entrepreneurs in the US, UK, Canada, Italy, China, Australia, Thailand, and many more countries. If you simply look at the testimonial playlist on my YouTube channel, you will see tons and tons of video testimonials from customers around the world. And there are like hundreds of 5-star reviews of my templates on my Facebook page. So you can be assured that this is the best investment for your business. Now you have different options in terms of bundles. You can go with my starter legal bundle that comes with all 3 website legal policies that we just talked about: privacy policy, disclaimer, terms and conditions. And you get some 9 incredible bonuses with it. So the total value is insane, and it's not going to cost you anywhere close to having a lawyer, hiring a lawyer, or having a lawyer drafted for you, but you get the same lawyer level protection without spending so much money. And then you have the premium legal bundle that gives you everything in this starter legal bundle, but 3 more additional legal contract templates to collaborate with others, to hire your first virtual assistant, and so forth. And then the VIP legal bundle is the ultimate best deal out there. There's no other bundle like this where you get so much incredible value at a really ridiculously low price. You get 16 templates and you get 16 bonuses. So the total value is insane. And so definitely take a look at these bundles depending on what stage of your business you're at. And if you have any questions, just post them in the description of this video and I would love to guide you. I also want you to keep in mind that if you do get one of my legal bundles, there are a lot of benefits. Number one, you get free lifetime updates. So if there's ever a change in law, you get access to an updated legal policy where you never have to worry about it. So for example, when the California law came in effect, we had to update our privacy policies to reflect those changes, and all my customers got those updates for absolutely free. And you also get lifetime support. You can get easy access to me in my Facebook group and community where you can ask questions and get instant support. And you also get to use the templates on multiple websites of your own, saving you so much more money, time, and headache down the road. Now I have 2 more bonus tips for you. Tip number 1, after you get my legal templates, you want to know where to post them on your website. So if it's the starter legal bundle that you get, the 3 website legal policies, then make sure to create 3 different legal pages on your website. Go to the menu, add the different pages, call them privacy policy, disclaimer, terms and conditions. Don't just put all 3 legal website policies into one page and call it legal. That's a mistake. You always want to make the 3 pages to be separate and independent of each other. And this way, whenever you're working with brands or you're working with ad networks, if they ever want to see, or even your customers, if they want to ever read about your privacy policy or your terms and conditions, you want to make it super easy for them to navigate all of that on your site instead of lumping everything together into this one page, which is going to be very confusing. And God forbid, if your business is ever audited, you always want to have those 3 separate website policy pages on your site to demonstrate your compliance with the laws. Now, the last tip I have for you to keep in mind is that once you get your website policies all posted on your site, you also need to make sure that your website is compliant with Americans with Disabilities Act, also known as ADA. Now, ADA prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities who access your website. So whether you're in the US or outside of the US, you really need to make sure that your website is accessible to people with disabilities. And there's so many different things you need to follow. There's a checklist. For example, some of the common things like putting captions, in videos, putting alt text with images, but that's just scratching the surface. That when it comes to your website, there are a lot of things that you have to make sure to follow, and there's a checklist, and I walk you through all of that in this video. So go ahead and watch this video next on ADA website compliance. And you can also take a look at my ADA website compliance legal bundle, which gives you the website accessibility statement that you need to post on your site, also some plugin recommendations that you can use, free and paid ones, as well as that checklist to ensure that you're not missing anything in terms of making sure your site is compliant. Unfortunately, we are seeing a huge rise and increase in lawsuits brought against people across the board where their websites are not compliant, and they have faced thousands and thousands of dollars in fines and lawsuits. So you don't want to be one of those people. So definitely take a look at how to make sure your site is compliant. Now, I have a couple of questions for you. Number one, when it comes to the legal side of your business, what do you struggle with the most? Please comment below and let me know, because that might be the next video that I will create to help you out. Number two, do you have all 3 website legal policies on your site? Are they professional? Are they compliant with all the laws that we talked about? If not, then it's time for you to book that call with me where I will legally audit your website and help you out. So comment below and let me know where you stand when it comes to your website. And please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so that I can help more people, and it would mean the world to me. Thank you so much for your love and support. And don't forget that all the helpful links that I just talked about in the video are going to be posted in the description. So check them out.